This is the Mile High Magnum Dak Drape, and you're listening to the Spanish Announce Table.
Cinco Preguntas.
All right, you speak Spanish, Roscoe?
I do speak un poquito.
Well, we don't. All right, so this first one, Roscoe, who is your favorite wrestler of all time?
Oh man, I'm an old school guy myself. I'd have to say the son of a plumber.
Okay.
That's the Road American Dream. I love him. I could watch his matches for days. I just thought that he always caught me off guard a little bit because, you know, the pro wrestlers they've got these physiques and this tanning oil and all this stuff, and he didn't need none of it. He just had his moves and his sort of a shake and bake style in the ring, and he put on so many good promos over the years. I mean, in my mind, he pretty much invented the promo that really got you stirred up, you know what I mean? And even, you know, you could put Ric Flair in that category, or, you know, I like everything from the Attitude Era. I once got thrown out of an arena for throwing a beer on Bret Hart. You know, I've done all that stuff.
Good.
And I just think Dusty Rhodes sort of laid it out the way that it's, you know, those are the type of traditions that were built to last. And man, I will never turn the channel if I see anything Dusty Rhodes related on there. So that's where I'm going with it.
So sidebar, before we get into the second question, what caused you to throw the beer on Bret Hart? Because this is something we would love to do.
I feel like we were in, God dang it, I can't even remember where. We might have been in Oklahoma City or Tulsa, and I was in school at the time, and my little brother and some other guys, we loaded up a truck and we drove down there and drank about 65 beers on the way. We even got in a car wreck, ran in the back of a lady, paid her a bunch of money to not call the cops. We went to the matches, and you know, Stone Cold, he used to come down through. He'd walk right through the audience. You know what I mean? He didn't even use stairs. You know, he'd just come in. And so he had a match against the Hart Foundation, I think, and it would have been 99. No, probably 96, 97 in there somewhere. But anyway, he was coming in, and when he put his hand on my shoulder, he just got me so fired up. I had a 64-ounce beer in my hand, and Bret Hart was standing right there, and I just took it. I chugged it at him. Yes. And I thought, man, that was great. I hit him with it, you know. I thought it was the neatest thing ever. And it wasn't 2 minutes later before security come and snatched me up and hauled me right out of there. But I've got a good story out of the deal. I guess you're not supposed to do that.
Wait, I feel like you had 8 good stories.
Good beer.
I felt like that one story was 8 good stories wrapped up in one. So you and I and TMAC.
We can elaborate later.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Second question. What is your favorite match of all time?
My favorite match of all time. I like that one where it was, I think that Undertaker was taking on Mankind, Mick Foley. And they had the cage going, and they were jumping in the tacks and all that.
Yeah.
They had the thumbtacks out already, and then he jumped right off the top. I mean, I felt like he came 20 feet in the air and landed right on the Spanish announce table, didn't he?
Yeah, it hurt.
Yes.
Did he come? Isn't that what he did?
That is what he did.
So
cost us
that
a lot.
that was pretty exciting. I mean, I thought that was about as crazy as it could get when that went down. I couldn't even imagine it getting. I mean, you know, we got Hardcore Bob Holly's going to be up there in St. Joe on Friday.
Yeah.
If you're in the area, and he was one of those guys. You know, I like those guys that walk down the ring with a trash can and baseball bat with some barbed wire wrapped around it. Let's get down to business. You know, no holds barred type stuff. So. Yeah, but that one comes right to the forefront of my mind. But there's a lot of them, man. There's so many good ones, and I turn on that network and I can watch that old stuff until the cows come home. You know, so that's a tough question, TMAC.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and
And
meeting.
no, my pleasure. The pleasure was all on this side of the Spanish announce table, I assure you.
Yeah, meeting Bob Holly, I honestly felt like that was just who he is. Like, he might have that trash can and baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire in his trunk, ready to go at all times.
And that is true. I met, that's what he's like to me. I stood with him at the, we did the signing at the Comic-Con here a few months back, and I stood there with him for a couple hours, and he talked to me just like a regular human being and respected me. But I did feel like at any moment's notice he could just snap and grab me by the back of my head and put my face through a plate glass window and not even think twice about it. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. He probably lives on some compound out in the middle of nowhere and just rides around four-wheelers all day killing stuff. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
I bet he carries the four-wheeler.
He's earned the right to, he's done it for a long time everywhere, and he's still in fantastic shape, and he still looks great doing it. And we met, Stevie Richards was here with us in Joplin and then come up to Kansas City last week, and he's another one that's just, he's 40,
ageless,
45, 46 years old, something like that. I mean, and just we'll sit down and talk with a guy who's been doing it for 6-8 months like me, and just the nicest guy you'd ever meet, and has a lot of insight for me. And that's where I consider myself really fortunate in running into some of those salty veterans.
Right. Okay, so then you might have kind of hit on a little bit of this earlier, but who would you say is your biggest influence in this business?
Okay. That you got your Jim Cornette, your Paulie Dangerously, those type of guys, the manager types. Bobby Heenan is a person that I really kind of try to think about what would he do in some situations. You know what I'm saying? I was rocking that neck brace a little bit a couple weeks ago. And,
yes, you were.
Man, I had more fun with that, just thinking about how Heenan would work that gimmick, and so I'll probably go with Bobby Heenan. I mean, I feel like I turn out more like Jimmy Mouth of the South, but I would rather be, Heenan was a little more intellectual and had some stuff going on there that was really to me engaging and made sense for. You hated him, but you laughed at him. You know what I mean? I don't know. He was just just real deep and real good. I love the stuff that he would do with Gorilla Monsoon and those type of things. So yeah.
All right, let's get into question 4. What is, and since you're new to the business, they might all be coming at you at one time, but what is your favorite pro wrestling term? As far as like babyface, heel, do you got a favorite pro wrestling term?
My favorite pro wrestling term is going to be well, I was calling it this week. It was the first time I'd ever gone 2 matches in one weekend.
Okay.
So that was a new experience to me, and I was walking around telling everybody, including the legendary Derek Stone and people like that this was really great. My first double shot. I don't even think like I've gone to sleep yet. I've just been in pro wrestling heaven for 2 straight days, and I don't want to stop doing it. And they all chuckled at me because I kept calling it a double dip.
Okay, right.
When actually it's referred to as a double shot,
right,
which is a little more masculine.
Yes.
Like I was going, banana split, ice cream sundae type motif.
Sure you were. Right.
And it's more like a double shot, like a pornography reference or something.
Right.
So that double shot is going to be my term. I'm going to start doing a lot more double shots from here on out, guys. You better, get ready. Screw your hats on tight.
I like that. Okay, so this is the last one, and this is really fun. It's not even a question. It's more of a hypothetical.
I feel like this is the 6th question. Is this the 6th question?
It's the 8th or 9th, really.
I wouldn't write them down, but this seems like this is one more than 5.
Yeah,
this would be 6.
Well, send the extra bill to Chris Goff at NWL. We'll be fine. Hey,
we're not good at counting.
I'll expect an invoice in the mail.
Yeah.
You better believe that's right.
Yeah, and it's not even a question, this last one. This is a hypothetical situation where we're going to test some of your creative brain that you've been bragging about here, all right? Ready for this?
Okay.
All right. So we are booking you, right? We're in a creative meeting. It's the 3 of us. It's you, me, and TMAC, as you called him earlier. We are in a creative meeting, and we're booking you, Roscoe Leech, for your next big program. And I'm talking to the top. Let's say NWL had something like WrestleMania, right? Or even that it's WrestleMania. This is the top of it all.
Yes.
Main event, Roscoe Leech versus T-Mac. I need you to give me the storyline.
Yes. Well, first of all, T-Mac shows up 12 minutes late to the ring.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you need to know.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's got a little, he's one of these guys, that walks into a meeting late, but he's got a half-drinking iced tea from McDonald's. Like, you didn't have the time in your life to come to this fucking meeting on time, but you did have time to swing through the drive-thru at McDonald's and get yourself a goddamn iced tea. So what's going on here?
Right.
So that's the first thing that happens that sort of rubs me the wrong way.
Huh?
The next thing you know, T-Mac gets in the ring, and boy, I'm hot, so I probably swing and miss a couple times at him, and he's going to throw me into the ropes and execute a perfect German suplex on me. And the crowd just can't believe what's getting ready to happen. So is what I do is I go ahead and find his girlfriend in the audience. And I just walk straight over to her, and I get her phone number.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
I never call her. I never even call her. And she spends the rest of her life heartbroken.
Yeah.
And T-Mac is sitting in the ring as I get counted out.
Like
and he knows that Roscoe Leech is diabolical.
Yeah. Yeah. See?
That one cut to the heart.
It's a short match.
You've met my girlfriend. That cut to the heart.
Hey, I'd buy it.
Looking lady. I mean, I don't know. I was just trying to do whatever I could. I'm not really a mean guy by nature. I just felt like,
sure.
You build it. You build it as my top match with T-Mac, and that's how I handle it. So I don't even kick him in the nuts or anything. I just go with that whole gimmick right there, and I feel like I inflict enough pain for them to finally give the credit to the Leech talent agencies that their credit is due.
Yeah, you kicked him in the heart.
Everybody involved.
Yeah, you kicked him in the heart nuts.
Mm-hmm. I kicked him in the heart. That's what I did.
The heart nuts.
T-Mac's heart is now broken.
Right. So let's get some plugs in then.
Love that one.
Let's get some plugs in. What's your Twitter? What's your Facebook? Where can we find you? Where's the YouTube? What do we got?
Well, you can find me I'm Roscoe Leech _ NWL, I think, on Facebook and Instagram, and then at Roscoe Leech on Twitter. So that's about all. I mean, if you go to the fightkc.com or you go to Fight KC on Facebook, then they'll scatter sprinkle the infield with all the links that you need to contact me or get in touch with me. And I'm one of those guys who responds right out of the gate. I like to interact with the fans. I'm about that. I think that's part of it, and make them feel like they can participate. Anytime I'm posting things on social media and people comment or respond or ask questions, I'm always there.
I like that.
To get involved. I like some good Twitter beef.
Yeah.
With other wrestlers.
Yeah.
I'm into that sort of thing. So hit me up. It's Roscoe. It's spelled Roscoe. And then Leech has 2 E's in it. So it's right in a row. Leech. And then anybody who knows their way around the dang interwebs can figure out how to do that. I'm not as good at it as you guys are, but I'm learning.
Yeah, so. Roscoe, for the Leech Talent Agencies, we got the contract over here. You wanted us to sign. We were a little concerned that the contract is handwritten in pencil, but we're going to look through it.
Well, that's because we may need to change that thing. All right,
that's true. We may have some demands.
Coming down, I've played a lot of golf in my days, and I know those guys don't have erasers on their pencils. They don't keep score as good as I do. So that's just the way that it goes. And once you get that thing all signed out for me, we'll start to make some moves and see if we can get some W's under your belt.
Yeah, we need a few. We definitely need a few of them W's. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on here and entertaining us for a little while, and we will see you at the next show for sure.
I sure appreciate you guys, and especially all your wonderful, wonderful listeners. I'm glad to get to know them. I hope they got a little insight what Roscoe Leech is all about and what we're trying to do. And just come up and say hi to me. I'm always available. You know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on with it.
All right, Roscoe, thanks for coming on. But...
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Keep up the good work.
All right, we will. Thanks. All right, T-Mac, that was Roscoe. He's super fun.
He's great. And look at that. He used to do a radio show with my good pal Stephen St. John.
Yeah, you're going to have to talk to old SSJ there about that.
Yeah, that's great.
Stephen St. John, you can hear every morning on the radio here on 810 WHB in Kansas City. I say that right? That's the right one, right? He's not on the other 10. That is correct. No, he's not on that other 10. He's on 810.
He's on the number 1.
Right.
Yeah, he's not on the number 2.
The largest sports radio station in America.
In America.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
He's got the morning show
for 3 years.
Yeah.
But anyhow, back to Roscoe Leech. What a great talent agency he's got going on there. He's got Lockdown Ray Briggs. He's got Flex Zerba. He's got his own zebra pants now and giving out kicks to the dick and stunners all around.
Stunning, folks. Go to the YouTube. The NWL's YouTube page will have any of their shows since they began on there. And Roscoe's been on pretty much all of them.
Every single one, yeah.
And you can go back and see what we're talking about. He's super entertaining. And for somebody who's only been doing this, 8 months?
He's hitting home runs.
He's a natural for sure. Well, we got to leave now. We'll come back next week for, Josh, what is it, 212? Something like that, I think?
212 in this bitch. Yeah, come on with it.
212. That's a lot of 200s. Right?
Keep on racking them up, just like W's for the Leech Talent Agency. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it. Keep your head on a swivel.
I like it. We will be back next week, episode 212 of the Spanish Announce Table right here on SpanishAnnounceTable.net. And
in 1999, former WWE diva Sable was the first woman to be given 2 covers of Playboy in the same year. TrendingTopicsNetwork.com. A voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying. I see heroes dying.
This is the Monarch Jeremy Wyatt, and you are listening to the Spanish Announce Table.